Today, we continue to discuss the story related to Nicole and Beyond the Gates. Did Nicole finally not accept Ted's affair and decide to divorce in the surprise of everyone? Let's discuss this story together. In the small, sun-drenched town nestled beyond the wrought iron gates that guarded privilege, pain, and generations of secrets, one woman's world unraveled in front of everyone who once believed hers was a perfect life. Nicole had once seemed untouchable. A woman of grace, strength, and steely resolve, whose smile lit up every room she entered. But beneath that carefully maintained surface was a woman who had endured more heartbreak than most could bear in a lifetime. Today, we pull back the curtain on the harrowing betrayal that has left Nicole reeling, isolated, and questioning everything she thought she knew about her marriage, her family, and even herself. The man she once called her husband, Ted, has left a trail of devastation in his wake. One secret at a time. Chapter 1, The Final Straw. It didn't happen suddenly. In fact, it had been brewing beneath the surface for years, bubbling quietly while everyone around them toasted champagne and celebrated milestones that now feel hollow in hindsight. But the breaking point, the moment Nicole stopped believing in love, came on a chilly autumn evening, as golden leaves blanketed the patio where she had once imagined growing old with Ted. Nicole didn't wait for a dramatic confrontation. She didn't need confirmation anymore. She had heard enough. With quiet fury and a dignity that only made the moment more heartbreaking, Nicole looked Ted squarely in the eye and told him to leave. There was no screaming. No final plea. Just 3 devastating words: "Get out, Ted." And just like that, the man she had once entrusted with her future walked out of the home they built together, leaving behind echoes of promises broken and memories that no longer brought comfort. Chapter 2. The Monday plea. Of course, Ted didn't give up. Men like Ted never do. On Monday, as news of their separation rippled through town like wildfire, Ted showed up at Nicole's office with flowers, cheap ones. Insulting ones. He stood at the entrance like a child who had broken a toy and thought a smile could fix it. But Nicole wasn't buying it. What he didn't seem to grasp, or perhaps refuse to accept, was that this wasn't just about the present. This wasn't about one affair. It was about everything. Years of manipulation, gaslighting, and betrayal wrapped in the velvet glove of marital bliss. For Nicole, this wasn't a sudden storm. It was a slow erosion. And now, there was nothing left. Ted tried to explain. He insisted he had reasons. He swore he never stopped loving her. But every word out of his mouth felt like another insult. The man who once held her when she cried after each miscarriage had been holding another woman in secret during those same nights. And that woman? Dana. Dana Leslie Thomas. Chapter 3, The Waitress Who Changed Everything. It all started during one of the darkest periods of Nicole's life. She had lost another baby, a loss that gutted her, one that made her question her worth as a mother, a wife, and a woman. While Nicole grieved, Ted strayed. The pain of losing a child is profound, but discovering your partner betrayed you during that time? That adds a level of cruelty that defies description. Ted found comfort in the arms of a waitress at the Copper Lantern, a struggling woman named Dana who had no idea she was being used as a temporary escape. Or maybe she did. Maybe Dana believed, as so many women do, that she was different. That she was special. That he would leave his wife. And for a while, Ted let her believe it. He told Dana he was going to leave Nicole. That he and Dana would build a life together. That their love was real. But everything changed when both Dana and Nicole became pregnant at the same time. Chapter 4, A Web of Deceit. Faced with an impossible situation, Ted did what cowards do: he panicked. He turned to someone he thought he could trust, Bill, his sister-in-law's husband, a man who had always carried an air of quiet menace. Together, they devised a plan to erase Dana and her unborn child from Ted's life. Ted offered Dana money, more than she'd ever seen, to terminate the pregnancy. He wanted it handled quietly, cleanly. But Dana, torn and confused, didn't accept immediately. She sought advice from Bill, unaware of the games he was playing behind the scenes. Bill, ever the opportunist, threatened Dana. He told her that if she didn't go through with the abortion, he would take the baby from her. Not legally. Not compassionately. He hinted at darker things: coercion, forced separation, silence. Outnumbered, terrified, and pregnant, Dana disappeared. Nicole, meanwhile, gave birth to a daughter named Kat. She believed, naively, that the worst was behind her. She never suspected that the man smiling down at their baby girl had been carrying a secret that would one day destroy her. Chapter 5: The Anniversary Ambush. Years passed. The secrets remained buried, until the night of Ted and Nicole's 20th wedding anniversary. The celebration was grand. The guest list was full of Salem's elite. Champagne flowed, laughter echoed through the halls, and Nicole wore the kind of smile only women in love wear. But the celebration turned to tragedy in a matter of seconds. Dana walked in, dressed not for revenge but for revelation. She wasn't the broken woman they had once manipulated. She was steel-wrapped in silk, and she came with a truth bomb no one saw coming. "I'm sorry to interrupt," she said, her voice calm but shaking ever so slightly. "But I thought you all should know. Ted and I had an affair. 20 years ago. And I never had the abortion. My daughter, Eva, your assistant, is his." The room fell silent. Ted turned ghost white. Nicole dropped her glass. And Eva, the bright-eyed young woman Nicole had mentored and loved like her own, stood frozen in place. It was the most painful party Nicole had ever hosted. Chapter 6: A Marriage in Ashes. Nicole didn't say a word to Ted that night. She didn't have to. The look in her eyes said everything. But the next morning, after a sleepless night haunted by the realization that her life had been a lie, Nicole did something no one expected. She called her realtor. The house, the memories, the ghosts, it all had to go. To the outside world, it seemed sudden. But for Nicole, it was long overdue. Selling the house was her way of shedding her past. Of saying goodbye to the woman who stayed silent too long. Of making room for someone new, someone whole. Ted, of course, tried to fight it. He begged. He cried. He even tried to discredit Dana, accusing her of fabricating the whole story. But a DNA test confirmed what everyone already knew in their bones: Eva was his daughter. And now Nicole was done. Chapter 7: A New Dawn or Just Another Storm? Is Nicole really leaving Ted for good? Will she find peace in her new life, or is this just the beginning of another chapter filled with trials and tribulations? One thing is clear: the woman who once endured silently is gone. In her place stands a survivor. A mother. A woman who now understands that loving yourself sometimes means walking away. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.